I'm Kevin Hirschner, and you're watching an excerpt from Scenes and Songs, the show that dissects outstanding movie and music pairings. The late Tony Scott's Top Gun was released on May 16, 1986. Despite its relatively modest budget, the action drama about student pilots at the real-life U.S. Naval Aviation Instruction Program went on to become the highest-grossing film of the year. And although many criticized the at-times cliché and melodramatic storyline, the film was lauded for its technical achievements in aerial photography, practical special effects, unique editing style, and soundtrack. Much of those achievements can be traced directly to the film's director, even if, at first glance, he may have seemed like an odd hire for the high-octane ode to American exceptionalism. Growing up in England, Tony Scott originally dreamed of becoming a successful painter. He even studied at the Royal College of Art in London for several years, before reluctantly becoming a director of television commercials at the behest of his older brother, fellow director Ridley Scott. The Scott brothers and their associates found great success directing commercials, and eventually the elder Scott and many of his English colleagues successfully transitioned to feature films. But the younger Scott would have to wait a little bit longer for opportunity to knock at his door. In the meantime, Scott added music video and television directing gigs to his still thriving commercial business. And finally, in the early 1980s, just shy of his 40th birthday, Scott finally had the chance to direct his first feature, an erotic horror film about a vampire love triangle titled The Hunger. It was a dud, critically and commercially. So Scott retreated back to commercials and music videos, worrying that he would never get another opportunity to direct a Hollywood feature film. But what Scott didn't know is that while he was attempting to break into Hollywood, a pair of up-and-coming producers were attempting to greenlight the very film that would change both the arc of his career and his life forever. Jerry Bruckheimer and Don Simpson dreamed of making what they envisioned as Star Wars on Earth after they read a magazine article about the high-flying, thrill-seeking pilots at the U.S. Navy's Top Gun Academy in Miramar, California. And they had their sights set on a young, passionate director with the technical experience that would be required to turn their dream into a reality. The stars were finally aligning for Scott. Not only were Bruckheimer and Simpson genuine fans of Scott's derided directorial debut, but they were familiar with his work in commercials, specifically a commercial Scott had made for SAAB, which features a car racing an airplane. Although Scott was eager and excited to take another crack at a Hollywood film, he didn't have an immediate grasp on the material. Scott's original vision for Top Gun was what he described as Apocalypse Now on an aircraft carrier. Unfortunately for Scott, his vision did not mesh with the vision of his producers or the United States military, who were providing the filmmakers with unprecedented access to locations, materials, and resources. Scott went back to the drawing board, researching the source material and meeting with pilots until it finally hit him. The film shouldn't be Apocalypse Now, it should be rock and roll. Rather than shooting this film like a traditional film, Scott would rely on his vast experience as a music video director using high-contrast cinematography, slow-motion footage, and spastic, quick cuts to capture the story of Maverick, the renegade hotshot pilot who always plays by his own rules. The ultimate rock star of the sky. And what would any good rock star be without his signature song? Thanks for watching this excerpt from Scenes and Songs. For full episodes, check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or wherever podcasts are sold.